What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we have a very interesting account tune-up for So High I Fly. I love the name, by the way. And this is, he actually just took the time and transitioned his account away from an Eloise Fairy Queen Vessel account to a Lord of Fear Aspen and Scarlet Queen Halora. His first instinct was, I definitely messed up, I shouldn't have done it. However, he's actually in a really good spot to make this work, because you'll see he does have the second Transcendence hero with Scarlet Queen Halora, and we do have a Lord of Fear Aspen here as well. So pretty good overall. I do want to take a look and see what artifacts are at their disposal. We have melodic strings, we have a crown, we got some glittery demon bells, so not a bad accumulation of artifacts overall. Not the biggest fan of Rui even in the early game for him, but I can see why some people would take it, because then the crowd control can help you live longer. And as you guys can see, he is ways away from that third Transcendence hero, so having some power on a Mockman isn't the worst idea. Of course, eventually what you are going to want to do is you're going to want to take and build an Elena, Phantom Defier Elena. So just save up any copies you get of her. Overall, you're doing the correct thing here as well. Again, you can go for an Aspen on an account like this. However, it's almost a little wasteful, because the Drake's kind of useful in other game modes, whereas the secondary Aspen really isn't. The only bonus of having a Tenant Aspen as well is that I noticed when I was looking through your account, there are a bunch of these B and B minus Awakening crystals. Save those up, of course, for the next Soul Awakening Gala that you need to complete to get either Sublimation or Core of Origin chest, and use them during that time. That would be the only time it would be nice, because then you can try to high roll a good Aspen copy, and if you get a decent one, you can throw it on the Tenant, whereas going for like Drake copies feels a little bad. Although you get a C minus there, not too bad. You can see the remnants of having the original account with the Eloise. Everything's going pretty smoothly. You are going to, of course, want to maximize this on Kirimaro up to E5 as soon as possible. And then after that, invest in the Drake. In my opinion, getting the Kirimaro Tenant going is more important, because it's a warrior, and more of those stats will transfer from the Kirimaro over to the Lord of Fear Aspen. Don't know if you push much. Ooh, this is probably one thing I would have done first. So when you go ahead and do a transition from the Eloise to the Lord of Fear Aspen, you want to just take and use the regular E5 Aspen with like V4 and everything in it first, in order to clear out Sealand 20. If you don't do that first, you're kind of stuck in this weird spot where like your other heroes just simply can't do it, even if you have like carries and everything. It does get a little difficult because you just don't have that big damage dealer. Now, Mockman can do it. It's just not as easy, and as you power up the Mockman Tenant, it will of course become easier. Honestly, I don't know if you've even attempted it yet since you did the transition. The Mockman might already be strong enough to get this done, although survivability is going to start really failing here quickly. You might need some more Amun Ra's to get this done. You can probably get it done, like I said, with that. You might be able to do something easier where you just like steal the V4 off of a Scarlet Queen, just use some gems, swap it over. But there's no real rush to get that done unless you really want to push more progress with the Lord of Fear Aspen. The only bonus is once you do get up past Sealand 20, which, yeah, you can see here, you're already at 22. You start getting these sweeping boxes, which of course have the Cloud Island materials. Those are absolutely important. Get as far as possible every single day to accumulate them. That's very important. And then as time goes on, you're going to want to start collecting your active skill for the Lord of Fear Aspen. That one is absolutely amazing. And then of course there's other ones that are really good too, like the last one. The last branch is a little hard to get to, but it does have some really nice bonuses. The main one is you really want to fully sublime out this active skill, because the fact that he can apply fear to all targets is like, it's really strong. And of course, work on that noble core. You got to start at some time, and let's see what he has for resources. As far as hero copies go, that's fine. Pretty much all these 10 stars down the bottom, they can be used as food. Just find some Kirimaro copies. That's going to be probably the biggest thing slowing you down. Let's take a look at the chest situation here. So we actually have plenty of hero copy chests. Even this one. Oh, that's actually a puppet one. Interesting. It's been a while since I've seen that. You can probably find the Kirimars to do it. So use the food, get it up to E5. Start collecting flags as well, potentially. I noticed there really aren't any artifact chest or anything like that in here. So again, that'll take a little bit longer for you to build that up. But just make sure you're keeping an eye out. Save these chests like this for hero copies like Elena, because eventually you will need to transition over. And you do have one core of origin chest, which sadly doesn't do you anything much right now, but eventually you're gonna want to go in and you're gonna want to get that noble, or at least the primary core, to start getting some additional power, because honestly, I kind of like his core. Honestly, it's something that's not too bad. The devil armor is interesting because you give it to the whole team. The big part is you get control immunity off of this, which is really, really nice, plus some other benefits where you can do additional attacks and everything. I really like it, and you're gonna need it eventually, because Lord of Fear Aspen is gonna be here from your second Transcendence hero until the end of days, unless we see some hero come out that is just absolutely broken overpowered. So looks like you have some other artifacts in here, not really ones to focus on or anything. So definitely kind of keep those just chilling and waiting. Besides that though, let's take a look and see how far we are in Void Vortex. The fire, yeah, kind of what I was expecting. The Lord of Fear Aspen is going to have a much easier time doing this. And then now the big thing is you can finally start progressing this game mode. And this game mode, ooh, is it tricky to do when you first power up your team. I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like right here. You don't do much damage, and that's one of the reasons why a Receptor is not something I particularly like. I usually like the melodic strings on him so much more. Let's see how he's actually set up right now too. So let's see if we can make any type of progress. Crit attack, I do like that. I do want to swap a couple things around. We're just going to take that from you. Place that here. We'll just give you an attack buffer, which is awesome. We're going to go back to doing Unbending Will, because he really doesn't need Balanced Strike per se. Crit damage, let's see his total. That's pretty good. You could try to do without this and go for some extra precision, because as you guys know, precision is an amazing stat. Let's see if this type of setup is enough to kill anybody. Honestly, I kind of want to make sure he's across from one of the Jaras to kill the Jaras. I don't want to kill the Tixes too early. You can see the damage difference, right? It is absolutely game-changing how much damage that does. And of course, he does heal up very nicely. He, of course, ooh, the shield is a little too squishy. A little too squishy. Gonna need that damage reduction then. This is kind of the game you play depending on the wave, whether you go for damage reduction or you go for an attack ability that's gonna give you more power. Make sure you jump in here. Ooh, that was not a good. I want to skip the battle because I'm like, ooh, that was not a good attempt. You definitely need to get a strong crit off for this to work. Yeah, it just seemed like the damage coming in that next round is a little bit too much. Maybe actually killing a Tix is the better route here. The other thing you can also do on waves like this is you can go for attribute reduction purify instead of crowd control, because man, are they pumping some damage out too. Let's try this. Let's go to attribute reduction purify, and let's also jump over and let's kill one of those Tixes. It is going to put the ghost on us, but that does alleviate us potentially of some damage that's incoming from actives. Don't know if it's possible. It's so much damage, and this is the hard thing. People might make that mistake and be like, oh my gosh, what I do? I just transitioned from Eloise and now I can't even clear the first stage. Getting into the Void campaign is a very, very difficult thing to do. It's not something very easy, and it's going to take a lot of attempts. Like even this one, we probably can get the win. It's just going to take a little bit of RNG here to get it done. Honestly, I mean, I'm almost tempted to run him a different way without melodic strings, because you kind of have to play this game of what's better in what scenario. We also need to make sure that she's alive for more hits. What you could do is you go for a round one fear, so that of course the enemies don't get to attack, and then based on that you can actually maybe get some better damage in, because if we get a basic in round one, chances are we might fear both of those Tixes, which means we don't take as many stacks here. And see the difference. One artifact isn't the end all be all for all answers. There's a lot of flexibility, and you got to be willing to do it. You got to be able to swap what artifacts you're using, how your hero's set up, all depending on the wave that you're actually facing. You see this one right here. Oh my goodness. It's a tricky one. It's hard finding that balance between, do you build the Lord for Aspen defensive, offensive, what offensive artifact, but you're on the right path. Save up to get that Phantom Defier Lana. Of course, the one thing I did notice too is you're pretty much tapped out on scrolls, on wishing coins, on prophet orbs. save. Just save. Simple as that. It's the only thing you do at this point is continue saving up so that you can actually potentially, you know, get some good rewards. You're going to need sublimation. 2 of those big watermelon chests is what you are going for. And of course, then some noble cores, because getting his ultimate, his active skill upgraded first, probably the most important. Like you do have some stuff from Black Friday and stuff like that. So keep saving up. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know if you have any other questions. If you are in a very similar situation, just be prepared. It's gonna take some time to get through Void Campaign, but I swear you're gonna make it happen. I'll see you guys next time.